Hey guys, I got a request for today's topic, mental health after breakup. Um, so, what did I do? What was the routine that I did after my breakup, this past breakup? All my previous breakups, I didn't actually do this, and I would always wake up with this very raw feeling of being alone and completely empty and void inside. Um, I can recall trying to recover from one breakup a few years ago, and I created I had a walk-in closet, and on the closet I had sticky notes of prayers that I had for certain people, specifically him. Why am I grateful for him and the people that I have in my life? Because I didn't have him in my life anymore. So what filled me up the most was just giving gratitude on those pieces of paper, writing out specifically what do I still have, and also recognizing what I felt that I lost by losing him. So I wrote down a prayer and also a gratitude list and the lessons that I learned from him, and just posted them up on the wall. And every day I would go in there and read them, pray, thank the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, for the people that I still do have in my life. I remember doing that as one of my coping skills for that deep seated anxiety and just pain that I would wake up with every morning. This past breakup was very interesting. Every morning I would wake up with that feeling and just like start hyperventilating and like, oh, I'm gonna die, like the feeling I'm gonna die. So I'd go into the bathroom and look in the mirror, and I started coming up with specific mantras for myself or self affirmations. I think the biggest one was you are a badass. And another one was I am a goddess. Everything is happening for my highest good. I use that one to this day a lot. I remember right before leaving work, I almost didn't say it, and then I literally did a 180 turn as I was leaving the house, and I did a 180 turn. I was like, I better go back in that mirror and say that, because I know if I don't, I'll probably have a crappy day. So I went back into the mirror and I was like, Nicole, you're a badass. And I looked straight in my eyes and I said that, and I swear to you, I walked out with more a feeling like I could embody it. It was more of a feeling of confidence, and yeah, I was still anxious, but that really did help. So yeah, what are your mantras? What do you do after a breakup? Self-care is super important because I tend to neglect myself after a breakup. One of the things I did do, I will show you, is put this on every day. This is my goddess. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of falling apart, but I got this at Burning Man. Yes, very stylish. I would put this on and dance in the mirror to my favorite music. I would have my headphones in because I live with other people, so I wanted to respect their space and not be too loud, but I would put those headphones in and get lost in the music and just wear my favorite outfit, sort of adorn the goddess, so to speak. And that was one of my other coping skills. Another one for self care that I do. I only did this once, but you get these 5 herbs. There's 5 of them. This one's called Kaladula. There's lavender. And you can just go to the herb shop and get these. There's rose petals, chamomile, so that's number 4. And chamomile is very good also for teas and self-care and relaxing before bed. Rosemary, that's the last one. You get a handful or teaspoon, tablespoon of each of those, or just a little handful. Put them in a pot, I use a big pot, and you put them all in the pot. You get boiling hot water. It has to be boiling hot water so it steams. And this one's called a yoni steam. So it's really helpful for cramps. I was having very bad cramps around my period, and go in the shower, or you can just do it like sitting on the ground. A lot of women use it's called a yoni chair, so it just sits right above the pot. I know this might sound weird, but it really helps and relaxes you, relaxes your stomach, especially girls that get really bad cramps. I did that for 4 or 5 days right before my period, and I'm telling you, it really helped soothe everything and calm me down. And yeah, so self-care is super important. Just anything you can find that just relaxes your mind, because I was having so much anxiety after that breakup that I found that anything I could do to relax the mind. Another thing I did was I actually planned this trip before the breakup, but going to El Salvador to do some missionary work. I know not everyone has the luxury of planning a vacation, but after a breakup, but that really did help too. A 5 day trip, I think it was, to El Salvador, learning Spanish, which I love, just doing things that really fill me up, helping other people in missionary work. This specific one was called Mission to El Salvador, and it specifically worked with people, homeless people. So we went one night and on the back of a truck and fed all the homeless, which was an incredible experience. They would flock to the truck, and some of them would want 2 and 3 rounds of pizzas that we were giving out. Just incredible how many people don't have even food or roof over their heads. So very eye-opening experience. And then just meeting other volunteers there, and that's a whole other video. I'll have to make a El Salvador trip video, but just get present to what it is that fills you up. So those are some of the things I just shared with you that fill me up. What are the things that fill you up? And do those things, especially after some sort of loss, a breakup, or even death of a loved one, or maybe loss of a friend, or loss of a job, any sort of loss. Those are the coping skills that I've used to cope with loss. Thanks for listening.